I'm going to tell y'all the truth. And so he turned to the economic plight, the same plight that I'm addressing right here, right now, that nobody has addressed, nobody has fixed. And Malcolm X did the same thing. Abraham Lincoln did the same thing. The problem is they all went into these secret societies, secret brotherhoods, and the word says, do not take an oath. And God has, and I hate the fact that people always say there is no blueprint. God has given you 66 books of blueprints on everything that you're doing. He said there's nothing new under the sun. So you have a manual and blueprint. You're just choosing not to follow the instructions. Every vehicle comes with an instruction manual. And if you get in there and you put sugar in your gas tank and you put and you don't follow the instruction manual, it's not your fault. There's a manual in there. You're just not following it. People always say kids didn't come with a manual. What do you mean? You have children that were raised perfect on earth. Enoch was a child that was born. You know exactly who his father is. You know exactly when he was born. You know exactly how old his father was when he got married and he had his child, Enoch. And then it says Enoch walked with God for 365. And that whole line, everybody in that line in Genesis chapter 5 had perfect children who were perfect on earth. Enoch was not the only one. All of them were having children while God was walking with Enoch on the earth, and God was worshiping with all of those in that family line on earth. No blueprint. So Dr. Martin Luther King, after, and many of y'all are in this situation. Y'all got brothers and uncles and fathers and all of that, and they recruit y'all into these organizations, these fraternal organizations that went extinct. The Greeks and the Romans were out. Listen, the Greeks and the Romans, Babylon said that they was going to be destroyed, and they was destroyed exactly how Daniel, it was revealed to Daniel. And then you're going to choose to do what Lot's wife did and return back to something that has already been judged. So today, I'm simply doing I have a nephew that's 3 years old, 4 years old. And my grandmother, Webb, who raised the bar and set the standard on the marriages that her children and grandchildren would have. Now, mind you, when she said this to my mom, this was in 1974. My 50th birthday was just the other day, 2 days ago. So when they had this meeting, my grandmother Webb was saying, I see my daughter. And what you are giving her now is not what you portrayed to my daughter when you were trying to court her when she was looking somewhere else. I have never seen my daughter. Once again, my grandma Webb is talking to my grandma Legette, my grandfather Legette, my father, who already has one child by my mother, and my mother was pregnant with a second child, me. And my grandmother Webb, my mother's mother, is establishing The bedrock and the financial covenant that God established for generational wealth is the only economy on earth. It has been the sole economy since the Son of God said, "Let there be light." It's called a marriage dowry. So, what my grandmother was saying is, my daughter is worth her weight in gold. And she has options because I am one of 5 wise virgins, and my daughter might be the ultimate of my 5 daughters. That is the 5 wise virgin. My grandmother Legette told me this story just before she passed away.